point, I really don't want to characterize it as Democrat or Republican. I mean, I was talking to Representative Finley from Ontario the other day, and he was talking about the bill to increase the 911 tax. That's really important for public safety across this state. And I really respect the work that he's put into that. That shouldn't be a partisan priority. He happens to be a Republican. I happen to be a Democrat. We both think it's a good idea. And so I'm at the point now where I don't really want to characterize bills one way or another. I think that, and I don't want to give more weight to any one of the remaining bills. They're all out there, they're all in the queue, and we need to pass them all.
Can you
So
go
you just
through what
condensed
some of the
down-
budget bills are, just explain for
Sure.
the public, well, what some of the budget bills
Sure.
still waiting to be dealt with are?
Well, I mean, the Oregon Health Authority budget hasn't passed. That's our Medicaid program, that's our public health program. There are a lot of new things that are in that budget. The Department of Human Services hasn't passed. There's significant funds for new child welfare workers and to support foster parents better. There's funding to pay increased rates to people who provide support to people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. That's important. Department of Corrections hasn't passed. State Police hasn't passed. There's money in the budget for 40 new state troopers. That's really, really important. Our state troopers are at a level that they haven't been at. The lowest level was since 1969. I think that's a problem for the people of Oregon and the people, especially in rural areas where there isn't sufficient state police presence to help us keep safe or to support local law enforcement. So there are some pretty substantive budgets there. There are also some important projects in some of the bills that came out of capital construction and then Ways and Means earlier this week. There are bonding projects for community health centers, for dams that are at risk of failure, for a great project to provide bonding for levees in the state because levees are in danger across the state. And if you live behind a levee that's decertified by the Army Corps of Engineers, you can't get flood insurance and you can't get crop insurance and you can't get rancher insurance to protect because if your cattle are out there. So that's a really important thing. There's an enormous amount of money in the budget for bonding for housing of one kind or another. And we know what the housing crisis looks like statewide. And we have to be investing in housing across the entire state. There is not a single part of the state that isn't dealing with a housing crisis. So that's just a fraction of them, Dick, but that's a big chunk. Those are significant issues.
Those are